Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. 'Tis I, the jabbering magpie, bringing you more Shadowrun Dragonfall. Well, if you don't remember from last time, we just blew up a massive-ass technology facility, which has pissed off one of the most powerful megacorps going. And Paul Amsel's called us up and saying that we've got quite an emergency going on back home. So let's see if anybody has anything to say. Absolutely nothing going on. Nothing new, at least. What else do we have? Let's go post some pay data to a shock writer. There we go, that's the As Technology Blood Mage research going in. Credit stick received. Freedom, equality, information. Shock writer. I only got 500 yen for that. That sucks. That really sucks. Lucky Strike, anything new? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything huge going on down. We need to go talk to Luca Dwyer. Shouldn't be too much hassle. Sorry, as I reposition myself as I'm straining my neck into pieces from this angle. Yeah, I think we're starting to slowly see the end game now in this series. Welcome back, Runner. Yep, talk to the exec. He'll fall in line after he gets his pants thoroughly dry cleaned. He smiles broadly. Excellent work. Perhaps you do have a future in this town. Here's your pay. Well, at least you pay better than shock writer. You're somewhat morally abhorrent, though. I can still sell the cheap booze to him. Okay, fuck it, let's see what Paul wants. No doubt there's like a friggin' 50-foot golem stomping around Lower Berlin or something that I need to sort out. Yeah, everyone's gathered around. Gather around, but first I'm going to check my computer. Oh, unread messages. One last DVD. Screen flickers to life and Mallet's face appears. She wears a plastic smile. Hoi again, Mags. Well, I've recovered one last DVD for you, but I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. You might as well use the rest as coasters. We're all beyond repair. If you look on the table beside your DVD player, you'll find the disc that I salvaged. She pauses, a slight frown crosses her face. To be completely honest, that was a lie. To recover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Oh god, who knows now. Schrotty is still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner, and his poor hygiene disgusts me. But he is very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's due. Okay, the local tramp knows what's going on. From Shock writer. To Max, thank you for your service. As a sign of your appreciation, we have decided to reward you with a piece of biotech from one of our operatives recently acquired on a job. If you wish to take advantage, go see Dr. Escabel. The implantation surgery has already been paid for, so there will be no cost to you. Thanks again for your help and enjoy your new toy. That was nice of them. What's the Alice Fund like? We're still low. That's Shadowlands BBS. Kaboom. What's this? Feel that shake a few hours ago? Not an earthquake, as the facility went sky high downtown. Can see the smoke from here. A friend of mine down there says it was a power spike that blew the generators. I doubt it. Only Shadowrunners have that sense of flare. That was posted by Maelstrom. You kidding me? That huge one that sprung up 6 months ago? Place must have cost millions to build. Jest? If it was runners, hope they got a major payday. No way I'd go anywhere near an Azzy facility without a trunk full of ammo and a mage watching my back. Ruby. Honestly, the power spike version sounds more likely. I've walked past the facility and they have guards posted at the doors 24/7. Not to mention automated turret systems backing them up. No way someone got paid to waltz through that shice. No way. Lumens. Yeah, well, I got paid and I was successful, and I did it pretty damn quietly too, until the massive fuck off explosion, of course. So dig this, apparently there were some survivors wandering around an U-Bahn station near the blast site. Some Boomona folks approached to see if they had accounts, but one of them said that they had to keep running, and they all took off down a tunnel. Oh shit, I've released a bunch of underground survivors. They're gonna stay there and build a civilization. That was a Maelstrom. Well, sure, with a blast of that magnitude, they're probably all in shock. Ruby. Found another post about a bunch of glassy-eyed people wandering around. It says they were all wearing hospital gowns. Tolstoy. The Boomona people must have hooked them up. They keep all kinds of medical gear in their rescue wagons. Ruby. Maybe. Or maybe they were all Azzy guinea pigs. Rafe-like-44. He knows what's going on. Okay, so I've started a massive fucking conspiracy theory. Hurrah! Fred, please help me find my daughter. Please help me find my daughter. She ran away from home. She is human in her early 20s with short blonde hair and a data jack. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. Worried Mother 004. This is not exactly the place to be looking for missing kids. How did you even get in here? Rafe-like-44. I paid good money to get on here. I was told you people could help. Worried Mother 004. If you got in New Yen, you came to the right place. I sent you a number that you can reach me at. Ruby. The old help me find my missing kid routine, a classic. Maelstrom. My money is on escaped wage slave. Rafe-like-44. Make sure you do your homework, Ruby. Tolstoy. Tracking people down. Corp tracers. Anyone have a good backup plan when you get stuck with a tracer? Barely managed to bug out of my apartment after his squad came knocking. Lesson learned, pat yourself down a couple of times and make sure you don't have a tail. But if I miss something, I'd rather keep my safe houses, safe. I've got good luck with RF blockers. I have a jamming grid set up near my safe house. It projects a signal to a few miles away where I've got some cameras placed. So when someone shows up, I know they were trying to find me. Then I do a sweep to find the tracker. Alan Albit. Sharp, how long does that go on before they give up? Tolstoy. Usually rules are free. I keep reprojecting a signal to different locations. In my experience, they give up after the third one is dead and stop listening to the RF signal. Alan Albit. Oh god, maybe we've got a fucking tracking device inserted in my asshole. DNA donor list for Az Technology. Any pay data to... there we go. Bit more pay data from the previous bank job. Job directory. I don't want to claim the pay data just yet in case it moves the storyline on. Let's go see what Paul wants. As you step forward, the rest of the team falls silent. Amsel shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. Mags, I have new information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. So, you said over the comm. Go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of a highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfield Manor. Well, that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. A radioactive bioweapon? How the fuck does that work? Surely radiation would kill off anything, any sort of organism within the actual weapon itself. And how's it meant to spread? You'd die of radiation poisoning before you could infect other people. Well, mind you, radiation poisoning does cause massive vomiting and diarrhea, so I guess that's one way of spreading disease. But a pair of gloves, you'd be fine. Doesn't sound that bad at all. The stories you've heard are correct. This Doom substance is extremely dangerous. He gestures to a technical document on his computer display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Amsel clears his throat and reads aloud from the information on his screen. Doom kills by destroying the host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to a surface-level muscle tissue. This tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. The process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. Iger nods grimly. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to the people up close, the UCAS passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Drek? Nothing good. That goes without saying. This development worries me, Mags. It worries me greatly. Okay, if the dragon is stockpiling biological weaponry, we've got even bigger problems than we thought on our hands. There's a moment's silence, then Dietrich speaks up. Well, in my book, that doesn't change anything. I mean, it's up the stakes if Fireving is allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be. But we're going to stop her before that happens. That was always part of the plan. Far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that it's going after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Amsel is slow to respond. He finally nods. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward. And that means that you must continue working towards raising Alice's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands, Mags. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head out to the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Good. If you need me, I'll be prepping for the next run. Right behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backwards glance at Glory. If any of this has had an impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory, let's go. Oh, hey diddy dee. Bioapocalypse. Oh, there's going to be so much talking. Let's finish off Paul Amsel. Okay, no, he doesn't have anything to say. Fucking biological weapon of doom, nothing to say. Back when we took on Humanis, you said that you fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. Alright, boss, we can talk about it. So I already mentioned that Berlin's punks and anarchists joined forces to fight off the racists, yeah? And after a long, bloody fight, we beat them. What I didn't mention is how I figured into all this. I'm an anarchist at heart. Always have been, but at the same time I fit squarely into the punk camp. I was 32 at the time, Messerkampf was still touring. Not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess I was sort of a elder statesman for the scene. When we rallied to fight a bunch of racists, my followers came along for the ride. Bunch of young kids, all full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. I was full of that good old dragon slayer spirit, pissed off and itching for a fight. So I led those kids into the fray. They waded into the riots right alongside me, yelling and screaming with their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of the fight itself, boss, but I do remember the aftermath. A lot of the kids that followed me had grown up listening to my music. They all had my attitude mags, but none of them had my magic. And youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. I left the punk scene for all the reasons I told you, boss. But there was a bigger reason. I saw it in those kids' broken bodies. This road that I'm on, it leads to your grave. I've got the power to make it a leisurely trip, but make no mistake, that is where I'm heading. Those kids tried following in my footsteps and they wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay out of the public eye and stick to the shadows. My stint as a role model was ill-advised. Okay. How's Alexander doing? Nothing new. Have you put any thought into what I said earlier, despite the fact I can't remember what I said earlier? Oh yeah, it was about talking to a fucking dragon slayer. Yeah, boss, I have. It's an interesting idea, but there are risks. I'm thinking that this might not be the best of times to approach him about it. He's the source of my magic, remember? If our discussion turned into an argument, he could take all the magic back in a heartbeat, and where would we be? From what you've told me about the Dragon Slayer, I don't think he'd like the way you're talking. Since when has he ever encouraged you to step back down from a fight? You've got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down. Ever. Not even from him. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities. I guess you would say taking on some deserved organization and calling off the hunt for something more impressive than Firewing. Of course, a fight like that would never really end. I'm never going to bring down a Corp or a Polycub all on my lonesome. He shrugs. But maybe that's not a bad thing. It'd take a lot out of the guesswork of life. I don't know, boss, if you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear. Why tie yourself to a specific group, I say? Keep it fluid, stomp around at anyone that threatens the flux. Isn't that what Berlin is all about? Interesting. That's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second. I'll ask. He closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass. Slowly a smile creeps across his face. Yeah, there was an option there to tell him to fight Seda Krupp, which is like the biggest megacorp going. Like, I think they're a conglomeration of like BMW, Porsche, every German manufacturer, like most of Europe's industry, and they're run by a fucking big dragon with beautiful hair. What's he saying? Yeah, I think he'd like this plan just fine. Wait, that was it! The Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he doesn't like a plan, he'd have told me. Dietrich grins wide. He looks more at ease than you've ever seen him. Well, boss, I've got myself a plan and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. You know, now that you got a handle on your connection with Dragon Slayer, you could probably reach out to your old community again. Berlin's punks could benefit from your experience. He nods. Yeah, boss, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit and fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth. After we're finished dealing with the crisis in front of us, that is. It's a good thought anyway. I'll keep it in mind. And any thoughts on last run? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get the chance to go up against a blood mage. Guess today was my lucky day. Not sure how I feel about freeing those clones. It might have been kinder to put them out of their misery. It was your call, though. Thanks, Dietrich. Alright, that's Dietrich done. Oh god, talky. Oh, you go. Iga glances up from her PDA at the sound of your approach. Mags, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has worried her in a big way. Something's put you on edge. Tell me what it is. There's a long pause. She finally turns the PDA so you can look at the screen. This. The image that greets you is a holo pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handles the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Well, tell me more. His speciality is social engineering and vet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Mags, and my contacts spotted him in Shatternest. It's a little too close to the Kreuzbazaar for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the Engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he had softened up after the syndicate had moved in. Mags, I have to stop him. Before it's too late, what happened to that town, it can't be allowed to happen again to Shatternest. Agreed. Do you know who he's working with? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Got any examples? Well, I know for a fact that he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he has put in a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's taken contracts with the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs for Taminus. I have no idea who Taminus are. I'm assuming they're bad. That's a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a long moment. So long story short, I'm going to have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Feuerschwinger situation, I get it, but I can't just sit back and let this happen. I won't. If the Kreuzbazaar is at risk, this is too important a job for it to rest on shoulders of one person. I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, firstly, you're right. I could use the help, but the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job. 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'd better be off on my own. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at the Weinkeller. I've got a contact who's going to join us there. He can help us figure out our next step. Woohoo! Killing the Russian mafia. Let's get that money. Before I forget. Whoop whoop! From Frau Mueller to Max. If you're reading this message, I have fled the country or I'm otherwise available. Don't worry, you're still getting paid. I've made appropriate preparations. In any case, Max, thank you for helping me. Please do not attempt to contact me again. As far as the world and my former employers are concerned, I'm buried under a ton of rubble. It's best I remain that way. Yvonne Jimenez, aka Frau Mueller. Don't put your real name on there. Oh, God. Payment from client, 36. Deductions for crew salary, 9,600. Ammunition resupply costs, 2,400. Deductions, that's 18,000 in the Alice Fund, 6,000 for me. Alright, we pretty much have... What's the status of the Alice Fund? We're there. We're there. We have made it. We have the money. We have the money. Mag's glory favours you with a weak smile, her expression cautious. You're suddenly aware how very small she is. Hoy Megs, I've got to admit I've been dreading this. So now you know what I've done, what I am. Are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. No, Gloria, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I just wanted to see how you were doing. Or, in fact, I have a question for you. Yeah, what's that? You escaped from Harrow, but he's still out there. If you're looking to atone for your past, don't you think that shutting him down would be a good place to start? She holds her silence for a long time. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, Max, and every time I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and ran away. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing. I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. Glad that we're on the same page. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to clear on what our goal is. There's a lot of innocent people in that place. Lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then there's also Harrow to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it, and if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might go away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else, where we can't find him, and all of this would have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well. So I think you're going to have to make a decision here up front. What do you want to do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Harrow? I don't think we can manage both. Oh god, that's a toughie. Because if he can just start another cult. Fuck it, free the children. When it comes to free the children, you've always got to pick free the fucking children. I hate giving Harrow a chance to escape, but you're right, saving the kids is what's more important. She pauses, considers a choice, and a smile flits across her lips. This feels like the path to redemption. This feels right. Glad to hear that we're in agreement. When you're ready to go, meet me at the van. It's a long drive from here to Schonbruch. Right, I'll get my things. Oh, and Mags, for everything. Thank you. Okay, so now we just need to sit back, relax, and watch it. Nothing, Paul. Why did I click you? Let's watch a DVD. These take ages to fucking do, so I'm not going to do an accent with them. Place track 1. Green Winters once again. 2050. The 4th, 28. This is it, the interview. Took me some digging to find this, but here he is, my big brother, back in his prime. The note disappears, and for a moment the screen goes black. Suddenly the image of a news correspondent flashes onto the screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. The stamp in the upper right corner of the screen reveals the date, August 22nd, 2012. Thank you for joining us. Why is he dressed as like the... That has to be a hazmat suit, because he does look like he's dressed to go out clubbing somewhere in some of the seedier parts of Shoreditch. Jesus. Hope it's a hazmat. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Sangerhausen, the 5th Harz mountain town to be sacked by the dragon Feuerschwinger. Standing by my side is head of Deal Defense, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Dr. Vauclair has been hailed as a leader in the effort for bringing down Feuerschwinger and end her reign of terror. Dr. Vauclair, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Yeah, that I can see he's got a fucking mask on there. That's obviously they couldn't be bothered doing a sprite or a model for pilot's clothes, so they've just stuck him in hazmats. Killing the monster has proven difficult, to say the least. His speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. His scales repel small arms fire, and their breath can melt steel. Our R&D team have been working around the clock to devise a weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffe's attempts to shoot it down via conventional means. Herr Vauclair, why are you directing Deal's defense energies to killing Feuerschwinger? Are there corporate interests to play in this? Corporate interests? No, this is a matter of human interest. Innocent lives are being extinguished at an appalling rate. I'm in a position to help put an end to the slaughter, and so I must. It's really that simple. Dr. Vauclair, you must understand my skepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement, they come to us for the truth. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth on this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is in helping the people affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Vauclair, I thank you for sharing your valuable time with us. You're very welcome. To viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming, I promise. Again, that was Dr. Adrian Vauclair, CEO of Deal Defense. Dr. Vauclair is chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the Dragon Feuerschwinger. Stay tuned for more late-breaking news on the Battle of Hearts Mountain. We'll be right back. Okay, I can't quite understand, because I thought he was a pilot from the sounds of things, and he's wearing a pilot's outfit. Sorry, as I take a slug of beer. Oh, gone right in my moustache. Number 2, timestamp. That's gone to November for 2054. Holy shit, I just stumbled onto some of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not going to say how I came across these, someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this. But I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting samples and are legitimate. Holy shit, this is big. Alright, okay, back up, slow down, breathe. It takes a moment to calm himself. Okay, so these notes, they pretty much confirm something that I'd already suspected. Luftwaffe didn't shoot down Feuerschwinger. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her. They lobbed rockets at her for months, lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process. But none of those things were responsible for taking her down. The Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one that Adrian and his Deal Defense think tank designed. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit, but from what I can piece together, it looks like it designed some sort of chemical radiological agent that acts as a metagene. Holy shit, it's the Doom virus. I don't think they fully understood what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they understood why it worked. Anyway, when a warhead full of this stuff comes into contact with a dual-natured creature like a dragon, say, it drives a wedge between the creature's physical and astral form. The dragon gets put in a sort of hibernation state. The spirit is forced out. It looks like this process can maintain that state of separation indefinitely, and that's a pretty horrifying thought. A discorporated body is supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard stories about ghost-walking mages being trapped in astral space unable to rejoin with the meat. I hear they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it's entirely possible that Feuerschwinger has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. Oh god, she's going to be pissed. Winters pushes his chair back and slaps the table in front of him. This is why Adrian was always so cagey about the subject of Feuerschwinger after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was alive, if only technically. Her body crashed down into the SOX, sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about any of this, of course. It did interfere with the lie that they were feeding us, that the fire wing was dead and that everyone was safe and that people should stop hiding in the basements and get back to work again. But privately, he always said that she was out there, somewhere deep in the SOX. I'd always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So what does all this mean? It means that the stories I got out of that ghost rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. It means that Feuerschwinger is definitely alive and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany is in deep shit, because if Feuerschwinger is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna get drunk. Good plan! Track 3. He's drunk. Drunk as hell. 2033-05. Oh, it's young and sexy Green Winters. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do, but you've got to drop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There's a camera cut and you find yourself looking at young, handsome Dr. Adrian Vauclair, who has a slight smile on his face. Over-talking, are they? What a terrible shame. Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You could lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hermie, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. Have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows you killed Firewing. Stopped, not killed. Fine, stopped, whatever. Winter swipes a bottle off the table in front of him, drains it and drops it to the floor. Call it whatever you want, but Adrian, you're the only one who's still obsessed with damn things. There aren't that many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Such is the cry of a cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry, I'll smoke another cigarette, what's the harm? He doesn't see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Now you're just being maudlin. Look, Adrian. You mark my words, Hermie, within 5 years corporations, even countries, will fall to these creatures, and the worst part is, nobody will care. Oh people, tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two, but no one will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth and territory. And we foolish, short-sighted mortals will never get it back. Come now, Adrian. We could solve the problem, of course, but we as a species are unwilling to invest our energy into problems that aren't staring us right in the face. As it was with climate change, so it is with dragons. I've accepted it. You can't ask me to stop caring about it. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine, by all means. Keep caring. Just you keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Yes, Hermie, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardise my credibility with the masses. It's not just your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talk, but sometimes I worry that you're really going to go back to the SOX. Hermie, Please, big brother, just drop all this. Stop hunting with Firewing and start living your life again. If you won't do it for yourself, then for Christ's sake, do it for me. Alright, Hermie, I'll try. Oh, feud. It's meet and mate singles dating profile. Last active, 1st of 15th, 2054. Female, human elf dwarf, I suppose. Body type muscular, age 50. Probably should have got a better photo that doesn't make it look like you're really into crack. You know? I'm a fun-loving guy who's also a great listener. I love hiking, clubbing, and all kinds of pets. I'm looking for a cute, funny, adventurous girl who's down to party. I don't respond to profiles without pics. No orcs, no trolls. Sorry, ladies. Jolly Green Winters. Okay, that was amusing. And there we go. I think that's pretty much the last of the DVDs. Well, and this is a good place to leave it. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I do hope you enjoyed that. For now, I will wish you a very tatty bye.